Okay, let's start now to discuss about LinkedIn itself. We went through all the concepts about marketing, personal branding, perception, and how these things are important for you, even if you don't use the LinkedIn. In any situation, this is an information that can be useful for you for many reasons, as I've already listed. So now we are gonna discuss about the LinkedIn structure here. So in case you're not familiar with LinkedIn, you can be more familiar with its structure and how you can be using this structure for your benefit. So let's start. So when you open your profile, and of course you're connected to other people, and there is a little bit of content around your profile already, this is what you're gonna find, right? So on the left hand, you're gonna see your picture, your name, your expertise. That is basically your headline. We are gonna be discussing about that, and some other data about people that viewed your profile and so on and so forth. The other piece that is extremely important in our LinkedIn, not the profile itself, but on LinkedIn, the flow of information of LinkedIn is what we call the feed, the news feed. And you might be familiar with this concept of news feed because it's the same for Facebook. When you open Facebook, you see what other people are posting, people that you are connected to, also companies that you're following. The same thing happens to LinkedIn. Everything you're gonna see here on the news feed. The difference here on LinkedIn is that you're gonna be often seeing people, for example, sharing about job opportunities, or companies that you're following also sharing not only about job opportunities, but also about updates related to their activities. So this is something, in case you are interested in working for those companies, this is something interesting to learn, because you can be using that information during an interview, for example. On the right hand, you're gonna see all the updates, the news updates, what people are discussing, what is trending on LinkedIn. And of course, this is also a way for you to keep yourself up to date, not only related to your field, but in general. We know that not everything is like there are some activities outside of our control that will impact our business. Things that are happening federal government level, provincial level, and things like that. These are all things that are always good to be on top of the news and trends to see how these things will impact our job somehow. Okay, then at the top you're gonna see the search bar, and the search bar nowadays on LinkedIn is a pretty let's say very simple to use. Basically, you're gonna be using keywords. So if you're looking for a person, for example, you can put the name of the person, the name of the company, the place, and things like that. If you're looking for a job, you can put, for example, the skills that maybe you are an expert, let's say, location and things like that. So LinkedIn is gonna do a search based on those keywords that you're using in your job, in your search bar. Okay, that's basically what it is. And on the right side of this bar, you're gonna see the navigation bar with the home. Basically, you press home, you go back to the to this page that we are right now. My network is gonna give all the people that you are networked, that you are connected with, or people that are being suggested by LinkedIn for you to connect. Then you have jobs. Well, it pretty much says like if you have a filter, for example, if you are tracking specific type of jobs, you're gonna get notifications from LinkedIn here about these jobs. Messaging is where all the messages will be, people that are exchanging messages with you. Notifications of any kind, people mentioning you, someone that you're following, or someone that you had some type of interaction. LinkedIn is always going to be sending you notifications about that, okay? And then, of course, there is all the settings that you can go through, your own profile, and other options of LinkedIn that you're not going to be covering here. That's advertise and work. We are not going to be covering in this workshop. So moving forward, let's go to a real profile. I'm going to open my profile now, and I'm going to give some examples of things that we have to consider to build the LinkedIn profile. So hopefully this is going to be informative for you. As I said, all that learning that we had prior to this piece of the workshop, we are going to now connect to our LinkedIn profile. So let's go now to talk about the LinkedIn profile and its structure in a live example. So let's dive in now in the our profile itself. So I'm going here and open my profile, and I'm going to share with you some things that I have here that you can use also to improve your profile. All right, so the first thing that when you open your profile that you're going to see is this area here of your profile, right? So in this area we have a lot of information that is the first thing that people are gonna see when they are, searching for professionals on LinkedIn, or when they are suggested to people on LinkedIn. As you can see, this picture here, my name and my headline is basically what happens or what is seen by other people in when you are searching for someone, or when LinkedIn suggests someone for you to connect. See the example here. People also view, and then you see the picture, the name, and then you see the headline of that person. So that's basically your picture, your name, and this is the headline. So these are very important piece of information that you wanna work really well to cause a good impression. And why we want to cause a good impression? Because then we are going back to that concept that we were discussing at the beginning about personal brand. Remember that we make assumptions. Even if we don't want to make assumptions, we make assumptions about people, even when we don't know them, or especially when we don't know them. And this happens also when you're looking for a job. Hiring managers and recruiters, they don't know you, but you want to build the right perception to the eyes of those people, okay? So, and that's why it's very important for you to have a professional picture taken. If you are not familiar, if you can take a picture of yourself and edit and all those things, maybe it's worth to pay someone to take your picture and have a professional picture of yourself. Then you have your name. LinkedIn now has this option where you can record the pronunciation of your name. So in case you have a name that doesn't sound too English, so you can record here your voice, so people will learn how to pronounce your name correctly. And here is what we call the headline. It's basically your expertise, what we do. So how to build this headline here in the proper way? Well, one thing that you have to think is the headline is your expertise. It's not about your job title. So what you do, what is the value that you're bringing as a professional? So here I'm saying that I'm a marketing specialist. So no matter where I am, I'll be a marketing specialist, and I'm helping newcomers to Canada to succeed in their careers. So that's what I do. That's what I do for a living. But if I go down here, you're going to see that that is not my job title, right? I'm an employment specialist and community outreach in the mentorship program. So I haven't replicated my job title in my headline, because what I want in my headline is my expertise. Is someone checking, when they are checking here, okay, my information with my picture, my name, they can see right away or understand right away what I do. Okay, so I use marketing to make people that are new to Canada successful in their careers. That's basically what I do. Another thing that it's always nice to have, because it also communicates what you do. It goes along with all the group of information that you have on your LinkedIn, is also your cover. So as you can see here, these are my expertises, right? Like I work in marketing, or with marketing, that's my expertise. I build personal brand, and we are discussing about personal brand here during this workshop. And this is basically what I do right now, that is mentoring for employment. So I help newcomers to Canada to find mentors so they can get to know better their field in Canada. Okay, so once you open, whoever is checking your profile, this is the first thing that they're gonna see in your profile, is the picture, your name, your expertise, your headline, and your cover. And as we are working towards a brand or a perception, a positive perception of ourselves, it's very important that you take care of these aspects here. Okay, how do you want to be seen by other people? Remember, let's go back to Peter Hawkins' post. So if Peter was opening my profile, he would understand right away what I do and what type of work I'm involved, right? So that's what we want to do here, is first of all cause a positive perception, or build a positive perception to employers and hiring managers. And second is to make it clear about what you do, what your expertise is. Okay, so let's move on. Actually, before we move on, let me open here just to show you how it works. So this is the background photo. You can create one for you on, for example, using Canva. You can create that. So you can crop, you can filter, you can make adjustments in case you need. Okay, if you go here, you're gonna have all the information about your name, related to your name, pronouns if you want to put. This is the audio that I told you, this is my headline, and this is my current position. That is going to be filled automatically with the information that is I have added to my profile in the work experience section. Okay, education, same thing. This is the industry I'm connected with, so it's marketing and advertisement. Even though I work in employment, this is how I identify myself in marketing and advertisement. This is the location, my postal code, and where I live in. All right, so if I go down here, there are other sections that are very important. This section here is all activities that you are, your activities on LinkedIn. So for example, if you can see here, these are my posts. If I filter here, it's gonna show my comments. If I filter here, it's gonna show my videos, images, articles that I've published, and so on and so forth. Another very important section of LinkedIn, your LinkedIn profile, is this section here, the About section. What is the About section? Well, basically the About section is a section that is gonna give a snapshot, it's a summary of your experience. You're gonna see that many people, they use this section in different ways. This is the way I like and I recommend my clients to use, that is using bullet points. And why the use of bullet points? Because bullet points make the text or a long text easy to read. So as you can see here, there is a lot of information, but once I put these in bullet points, it's easy or easier to read. There are other people that they rather use block of texts or so basically they are telling a story. So for example, Carlos has 7 years of experience doing this, blah 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 blah. So it's kind of telling a story about that person. And the reason why I don't like to use that approach is because if you are reading multiple profiles, if you're a recruiter reading multiple profiles, I just don't have the time to be trying to understand what that person does. Okay, like, okay, your story can be beautiful and, but what matters to me is what you can bring to the table. If you have the skills and the experience I'm looking for. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm giving this information to them in an easier way to read or to access. Another thing that we have to also remember here is that this, as I said to you previously, it's also an opportunity to add keywords to your profile. Okay, so as you can see here, I have some tools that I use. Okay, I have here my experience. I have here what I do. So I can collect keywords that are important for the type of job I do, and then I can populate this my profile or my about. That is one of the sections that I have the opportunity to use keywords to populate with important keywords for my field of expertise. If we go a little bit lower, we are going to see that we have here the piece related to work experience. And how do we populate this piece? So LinkedIn is going to give you this opportunity to add experience to your profile. If this section here is not appearing in your profile because your profile might be new, for example, you can always go here at the top and add profile section. So you're going to see that there are many options here that you can add. So add education, position, career break, and so on and so forth. Okay, recommended, add feature, license, certification. So everything is here at the top so you can add to your profile. Going back here to work experience, how do you create this section of your profile on LinkedIn? Well, there is this button here that you can add a new experience, so you can add a position. So let's go add this position so we know how it works. So for example, let's say that I am marketing manager. Okay, so that's the title of my position. I am permanent full-time. So what is permanent full-time? It's here, permanent full-time. And the company that I work for is Google. So every time when the company has a profile on LinkedIn, a page on LinkedIn, when you type the name of the company, it's gonna appear in your in the search bar here, so you can attach, and it's gonna be nicer on your profile to have the logo of the company, name of the company. But not only that, the person that is checking your profile, they can click on the profile of the company just to check what company is that you used to work for in the past, right? So here is the location. So let's say I was working for Google in Kitchener, and location type. This is something new after the pandemic. So working from home became something mandatory basically, and now many companies have reinvented the workplace because of this new situation. So for example, I can put here hybrid, and then I'm gonna put here the date I started, so basically the month and the year. So let's say 2021. And if you're currently working here, you leave this here with the tick. And if you're not working here, you're gonna untick here, and then you're gonna add your the month that you finish. So let's say March of 2023. Then it's gonna come the description. And here is another chance for you to populate your profile with important keywords. One advice that I give here is that the same advice that I just gave for the about of your LinkedIn profile. I'm gonna close here because I don't work for Google, so let me close here. So I'm gonna discard, great. So if you can see here, I have used bullet points, right? And the same thing I'm using here. So I gave a little bit of explanation about the program that I'm responsible for. And then I'm here saying the all the duties that I'm, all my tasks related to the job I do. So this is another thing. This is an opportunity for you to populate your profile with important keywords. And also, as you can see, these are videos that I have produced for Lutherwood. These are things also that you can also add to your LinkedIn profile, like a portfolio related to that specific job. So these are things that you can do as well. And here you can see other experience that I had in the past. If I click here, I'm going, to show my entire experience. So everything you're gonna be finding here in my profile, and everything, as you can see, in bullet points. Take some time to invest here in this section because it's gonna be very important for you. Okay, so now we are going to another section that is the education. As you can see here, I haven't added much details about my education, and the reason why is that for my type of expertise, it's not necessary. Now, if you are applying for jobs in the academia, let's say you want to work for a college, for a university, these might be something that you want to go in further detail. So for example, I can come here and add it, and then I can put, for example, the grade and all the descriptions, the skills, media related to this activity. So I can add more details to education in case I need. The other section on your profile, and again, if you don't see this section in your profile, you can go up here to add profile section and just add this new section to your profile. This is where you're gonna add the licenses and certifications. So as you can see here, I've completed this training here using the LinkedIn platform. LinkedIn has its own platform of training, so you can take some online courses, and then you can share at the end here on your profile, which is really cool. Other things that I have here, I have other certifications that I've done in the past, so they are all here. So these are things also that you can add in case these credentials are let's say verified, like you can verify these credentials. You can and especially if this is a well-known, let's say, credential that people will recognize right away, this is the section that I would recommend you to put. Now, you are taking this course here, Mastering LinkedIn. Is this a place to put this workshop? No, you don't have to, because this is not related to your area. Unless, for example, you are from HR, so you wanna add something related to LinkedIn, that LinkedIn, that you are improving your skills on LinkedIn. So maybe this can be an information that is important for your area. But if it's not, just leave it. You don't have to add this here. So here you can add projects. Here you can add also volunteering experiences, and here. Well, going back a little bit about the volunteering. So volunteering experience, if you are volunteering in your field, let's say you are an accountant and you are volunteering to a not-for-profit for 2 days a week, working on their, their bookings and stuff like that. So you can come here and add that as an experience, as a professional experience, because you can add this as a kind of a internship that you are doing, because it's a type of an internship that you are doing. Or you can even put here, let's say accountant, and then you put here volunteer. It is not going to be an accountant, but let's say accountant clerk. So you can put as a volunteer, and then you can put here internship. So this is going to characterize your volunteering, but keep in mind that you are going to add to your experience in case it is a volunteer experience is related to your field. Going back here to skills. So skills is another section also that you can work on your profile on LinkedIn. And how do you add these skills here on your profile? You just have to go to this plus button here, and then it's gonna open and it's gonna suggest you based on your experience. LinkedIn is gonna suggest for you some ideas of for skills that you can add, and then you can connect these skills to things related to your experience, current experience or past experience. Okay, so these are things that you can do also. So I just did this one, branding, for my experience here. Okay, and as you can see, people can come and endorse me for that specific skill. So for example, marketing, I have all these people here, 43 people endorsing me for marketing. This is another opportunity for you to populate your profile with keywords as well. So for example, if you know a specific software, you can add here. If you know a specific methodology, you can add here. If you have any soft skills that can be good to make it clear that you have, you can add this here as well. Now the recommendations. Remember that recommendation works like a kind of a review. So recommendation is basically someone that had an experience with you, a professional experience with you. Can be someone that was your manager, can be someone that had a partnership with you, can be someone that used to work under your management. So these are people that have good things to talk about you. So here are some examples of people that I used to work with. Some of these people, they used to be my managers. Some of these people, we were partners in in projects. So this is something that you can have in your profile. You are also giving recommendations to other people. So here are people that I gave recommendations as well. One thing that you are not gonna find here in the add profile section is these recommendations. Recommendations will only show up in your profile if you have a recommendation from someone, or if you have given a recommendation to someone. Okay, so in order to do that, you have to come here and ask for a recommendation or give a recommendation. So when you ask for a recommendation, that person that you're asking for a recommendation is gonna get your message. And of course, if the person wants to give a recommendation, the person is going to give the recommendation. Or if you want to give a recommendation to someone, you can do it here. And then you have, all the publications in case you have courses. And this is an area that you can add courses that are not directly related to your field, for example, that they are very, they're not going to make a huge difference in terms of licensing or certifications. They are just training. So you can add these courses here. Okay. Honor and awards in case you have any. And here is a section that is very interesting because this is an opportunity for you to share that you speak more than one language. So if you are a newcomer to Canada, for example, you can say that you speak your mother tongue, and also that you speak English, or if you are in Quebec, that you speak French as well. Now, here's one thing that LinkedIn provides. LinkedIn provides a section on languages that you can give more details about the proficiency of your language: elementary, limited working proficiency, native, so on and so forth. My recommendation here for you is that you don't add anything related to your proficiency. And the reason why is that sometimes we underestimate ourselves. So we think that we have, basic English, but then whoever is hiring us will see your level of English and say, you know what, your level of English is enough to do the job. So if we put here a specific level of proficiency, it might be a barrier for you, because whoever is checking your profile, and let's say the person likes your profile, but then sees that you have work proficiency in English. So for that person, it sounds like you don't know English, and that person is going to just ignore your profile. You know what I mean? So let's leave the level of the language to the person that is hiring, because you might be applying for a job where what is important is that you are able to communicate with your team, to write an email to your team, to talk to your manager and things like that. But you're not going to be talking to clients, for example. You're going to be on the back office, developing a software, for example. So the level of English needed is not that high, but it's of course important that you are able to communicate with your team and your manager. Leave it just the language. Another thing that I recommend here is that don't add languages that you are not gonna use in the work environment. So for example, there are some people that they'll come here and say that they speak Japanese, but it's a very, let's say here, I'll give just an example. Let's say we put Japanese, and then I come here and then elementary proficiency, meaning that I know how to say good morning, how to ask for a beer, and that's all, right? So this is useless for your work, okay, or for whatever job you're applying out there, because you're not going to be using. So just don't add this information to your profile, because it's totally useless. Let's go back here and let's try to discuss now a few things about what we have discussed prior to getting to LinkedIn, that is about building your brand. Remember that building your brand, no matter if you want or not, this brand is going to be out there. The perception, people are going to have perception about you. What we want is that perception, instead of being a wrong perception or a confusing perception, we want this perception to be exactly, very clear, and people will understand what we do, what is the level of expertise we have in our field. So we want these people to see us as experts and professionals. How do we do that on LinkedIn? There are many ways to do that on LinkedIn. Remember the 4 pillars of LinkedIn: be relevant, stay active, connect, and also the keywords. So the keywords, we spoke already about keywords and how to use in our profile. How can we be relevant? How can we demonstrate our expertise on LinkedIn? I'm gonna show you right now. For example, as you can see, LinkedIn has this, as the same as in Facebook, right? So you can start to write a post. So why should I write a post? What's the point? Well, when you write a post, you are sharing your thoughts, you are sharing your expertise, you are sharing your perspective on things, on discussions. For example, let's go back here and let's see my profile. Let's go here to my profile and check, for instance, some topics that I've started in the past. So these are all postings that I've started in the past. So here is one. So this one here is just announcing that we have a new partner for our mentoring program. And look at that. Look, people here interacting with my posting and, you know, like just giving a like. And you might say, oh, you are hunting for a like, or you're searching for likes and things like that. Well, on LinkedIn, likes have a huge power. And what is the power of a like? There are two main things here when someone gives a like in your profile or in your post or in your comments. The first one is that each person that is giving a like in my post, everybody that is connected to that person is gonna see my post as well. So this is one thing. The other thing also is that once the person gives a like in something that I commented or I posted, that person now is gonna always see my posts on her or his newsfeed. So when this person opens the newsfeed and let's say that I posted something, that person is gonna get that update as well. So people will start to notice you. And here you have to be very careful, okay? Because the same way that you can interact and get traction, bringing, you know, good insights and things like that, the same thing can happen the opposite way. So for example, if you get into a debate that is a hot debate about politics, religions and things like that, that is something that I extremely advise you to not do it. Everybody that is interacting with that post that you are putting, you know, other people are gonna see you, other people are start to build a perception about you based on that debate that you are involved. So my advice for you is be very cautious when posting on LinkedIn, because people can be you know, when you are in a debate, it's always good to be part of a debate. If you see that is a professional debate, if you see that is something interesting to get involved, that is gonna make people to build a different perspective, that's okay. But if you get into debates where people are not gonna change their perception at all, that you are wasting your time, just avoid totally. Okay, so this is one thing. People are gonna start to see more your content, everything that you post, and people also are going to every time when they give a like, people that are connected to those that gave the like in your post, they are gonna see also in their feed. Okay, so that's the importance. And I'll give you an example. I remember a while ago I gave a presentation to a group of students from the University of North Carolina in the US, and was about personal branding. And then I posted that a picture and I posted there on LinkedIn. Many people liked, and then one of those people that was checking my profile and the post that I just did invited me to do the same thing at the University of Guelph. So here you are, like opportunities coming up just because you are sharing things that you've been doing, sharing your expertise in things related to your field. So that's the perception that we want to build, right? The expertise, credibility, that you are someone that can be trusted for your field. The other way to grab people's attention is to write articles. So I have also articles. So if you go to my profile, you're gonna see that I have articles about many things here. So for example, I have written this article here related to ChatGPT and the use for by job seekers. So I have created this here. So people, you know, as you can see, people are interacting. There is even someone here that is not even connected to me that have read my article. I have here 20 likes for this article. So this is great. This is a very good, like, if we come here to the stats, 1,400 impressions. So 1,400 times these articles showed up in people's feed. Name of comment, number of comments, reactions, and reposts. There was someone here that have reposted these articles. As you can see, our employment specialist here has done that. What is the other way to interact with people or to demonstrate your expertise or your opinion? You can come here to people posts, okay? So, for example, you can come here and there is someone commenting about, let's see, there is always someone commenting about something. So there is this person here talking about that saw something on TikTok last night and a side job seeker, blah, blah, blah. And then there is a bunch of people here commenting. So I can come here and give my perspective, my opinion about this thing that she is sharing. If it's something important to me, if I think that what I'm going to be saying can be valuable to the discussion, I can come here and do that. So that's another option that you have also to be interacting with other people. Another thing that we also have to keep in mind here is that remember that I said about LinkedIn is an opportunity for you to hunt and to be hunted. So here is the thing. Every time when people start to notice you, these people here on LinkedIn, they might have opportunities, okay? And I remember one of my clients, for example, she was part of this workshop, and then she was just connecting to people and building her network. And just connecting, she had someone checking her profile, and then, you know, after she sent an invitation, the guy checked her profile, and the guy was looking for someone exactly like her. So she was invited for an interview, and then she got the job that he invited her to the job interview. So that's also, as I said, to be hunted is this, like as soon as you put yourself out there, people will start to notice you. And that's our mission here. Can you see here my URL? My URL here is saying linkedin.com in Carlos Frederico Martins. That's my name. How do we do that? Because there are many people that they have like a profile like this. Let's say Carlos / a bunch of numbers and whatever, right? So how do we change that? We go here, public profile and URL. We click here, and then you're gonna see that you can edit your URL. And as you can see, that's what I've done. So check in your profile, and you can do the same thing, make something customized related to your name, you know, and make something shorter. So when you are sharing your LinkedIn URL in your resume, for example, it's something short and easy to share.